This is Lee, and this is not a painting process. This is just me talking about experiment I did on Iceman miniature from Marvel United X-Men board game by CMON Games. This piece is from the expansion, the Gold Team expansion. The whole miniature, well, except the base, is casted in blue transparent plastic. And as you can see, there's a transparency there. And I applied the paints directly on the plastic and varnished a few thin coats of varnish. And I did mask the miniature and then prime the base though. You can see a little bit. So the whole process is I paint this miniature, all right, directly without any prime or anything. And then I sealed the edge of this transparent plastic with blue tack, and then I primed the base. There's still areas here was covered with blue tack and not get primed, but then I dry brush the base. That's the whole process. And with a few thin coats of the varnish. That's the whole process. All right. So all the highlights, the shadows, their locations are mainly just referencing Big Child Creative's official work. All the paints I use are Crux White, it's Mark Ridge Blue, and then Temple Guard Blue. That's layer paints. Those two are base. I did use a little bit Abandoned Black, but that was only on the base, and I was only trying to mix some gray color. But yeah, that's all the paints I use. And it is harder to paint on miniature without priming because the paints will just kind of be loose on the surface. It just takes time, a little bit longer time to get your paints stable on the surface, and then it takes longer to get your brush strokes looking all right. But yeah, I had this idea, blending paints and transparency of the plastic together ever since CMON released this photo of the Iceman render, and then I was like, oh my god, that's transparent piece. That's entirely transparent. I got to use that feature, all right? If I prime this whole thing and paint it, I'll be just like another regular miniature. So if they cast it in transparent plastic, I have to use that feature. I just have to use that. I don't want to waste it. So I was thinking, apply the paints directly on the plastic. So I did it. And I didn't really have any experience of painting job with transparent plastic, and I didn't really see many paint jobs with transparent materials. On the right, this is a bust from Nickel Galaxy. It's casted in complete transparent piece. I think it's resin, and the official painting job is doing great. But it's kind of different because that's painted from fully covered paint job to a fully transparent effect. So that's kind of different. The thing with painting transparent plastic is that it's transparent. Okay, lights will leak through the transparent areas. When you're painting miniature, normally it's a solid piece. You're basically painting on a 3D canvas. You have a base color, but if you're working on a transparent piece, it's transparent. It doesn't really have a base color. So once the lighting is at the back or other direction, it's just gonna go through the transparent areas. It will cast shadows on and only on your brush strokes. Okay, that's the issue of it. And it's not something you can really avoid, because if you, I don't have my brush strokes controlled at a very nice stage here, but even if I did, it will just, cast the shadows on this entire painted area. So yeah, like you can prime this whole thing and then sand down the areas you want to keep the transparency. So that'll leave it like a little bit like the bust. So this entire area is completely transparent, and that may work, but it's Iceman, and it's not something it's transforming into transparent. So the concept is kind of different. So the same technique doesn't really apply on this. You can also prime it and then just send them some areas you want to keep the transparency, like here. Okay, so I painted on this side, but I left the middle bit transparent. You can do something like that as well with primer, and then paint it, but it will end up result the same. The light will leak through the transparent areas and then being blocked with all the paints you applied or all the primer you applied. So it will result the same. So if you, I've seen people saying you can use a dark blue wash or whatever to apply to cover this entire body. It's the same. If this wash paint is on low opacity, it will just be transparent. And as long as it's not on low opacity, if it's like fully covered or just a little bit heavy covered, it will result a very strong shadows. It will just block the light. All right, so like the highlight on the forehead here, that's pretty covered with paints. I'll just cast strong shadows there, just for that area, just for those brush strokes. And on the back here, this is not really on a high opacity, but you can still see it. And we'll just cast shadows on and only on those brush strokes. So that's the only issue if you're trying to paint directly on the transparent plastic. So what I would suggest, all right, if you want paint Iceman properly, just prime it and do what Big Charlie Creatives did. Paint it properly, like regular miniature. If you don't want paint it, just leave it. You can actually paint the eyes. I do believe you should paint the eyes, because if it's like fully transparent, and you won't really be able to see his eyes, the whole face structure clearly, because it's transparent. The whole lights and shadows are depending on the environment lighting. So I don't think that's good. So I suggest you paint the eyes, but probably that's it. And I do think you should use some dry brush or just each highlighting the ice bridge. It will look better. It will just look better, because the ice bridge is not really something like matters. It's not like a character or anything you have to, there's a face structure you want to say, not really. So I do believe highlights or each highlighting the ice bridge is a good idea. For the character itself, I don't know. I'm not even sure I like my experiment. It looks okay, and only at this lighting environment. If it's a backlighting, I'll look like that. To be honest, I don't like that. I really don't like that. It looks really stupid. All right. Anyway, that's my experiment, and hopefully this helps for whoever trying to paint transparent plastic. And to be honest, I don't have much experience. So if there are other painters can achieve a better result blending paints and transparent plastic or material or whatever, let me know. Yeah, so hopefully this helps, and I'll see you next time.